the Ninth Mountain Ridge. And I specifically said that I didn't feel like it
But that made it so at least, that far out, that we
Okay, nothing from the attorney yet on there? If they do, give us a signal or something. She says she's running around. Hey, I'll call the Bryan County Board of Commissioner meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any additions to the agenda or changes?
Mr. and Mrs. Taggart are here to discuss their road.
Okay, I got your one.
And I just want to talk briefly about the contract we signed with NDOT. I don't know if we can move that down and just do it at the contract. I don't know. You put it wherever you want to put it.
All right. Okay. Anything else? Ain't Stephanie.
No, I don't have any changes.
Okay, approval of minutes and claims.
I've got a chance to review them. I did not see, so you raised a concern with regards to the ordinance for the take-home cars not being there. It is there. It's just at the very top of one of the pages. So it's present and it was tabled and it showed the motion hearing. So just to confirm that for you.
Is it the same? No wording's changed?
Correct.
Yes, nothing's changed. So just confirmation of that. So I will make a motion to approve the claims and the minutes.
Second.
Okay, roll.
Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
All right, a new business. Let's start with Veteran Affairs. Ron Higgins.
Make sure that mic's on, Ron. We'll try to. Sometimes we forget. Yeah, it's there. It's just.
Very loud.
Yeah.
My name is Ron Higgins, State of Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, and I am here to brief the county commissioners on the new Senate Bill 433, which is called now IC Code 10-17-1-9, and I'm required to brief the county commissioners twice a year. The first briefing will be about this, the protocols and standards that are set. And every briefing after that will be a performance sort of briefing. The purpose of this policy is to establish comprehensive mandatory standards for accreditation of veteran service officers who are conducting operational business within the state of Indiana. The statute sets also clear required rules of operation for accredited service officers. Service officers shall perform all functions, operations, and report all information required by the State Department Claims Management System, which is our software that we use in each of the 92 counties. All CVSOs have uniform software across the board. They must have completion of relevant information within forms and fields, intake form and log of walk-ins, appointments, and substantive interactions, other protocols deemed effective to operational efficiency as well. Only accredited service officers in compliance with this policy are authorized full unrestricted access to claims management system, which means office administrative assistants and secretaries cannot file claims to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and the state of Indiana within our state database. They must be accredited. And so a quick overview of the highlights of this new IC code. CVSOs are now required to be a hired employee of the county. They're no longer appointed for 4 years. CVSOs office hours must maintain at least 1,000 hours a year, and that's roughly 20 hours a week. And they must have the updated posted office hours on their door and within their our state database as well. They must have appropriate internet connection, technology utilization of our claims management software, the utilization of the PEIV card, which this allows the CVSOs to look into the federal database for the veteran and render more accurate guidances for all VA claims. They must have private office space to conduct confidential discussions for the protection of the client's information. Other security standards and office protocols, uniformity across the board is what this is intended for. And the protection of personal protected information and much more required. They are required to attend IDVA trainings semi-annually and annually. And there is a 4-day training in the summer and 2 trainings, one in the spring and one in the fall, that they must attend to maintain their continuing education units. And that will also include certain required online trainings and proficiency examinations. New CVSOs are required to reach out to the IDVA for CVSO orientation and training courses for all new hires. Through the claims management system, CVSOs will capture all this data, and it will we'll be able to create generic forms of logs and other various key performance indicators. So there is outreach expectations and various other data that has never been done before. And all future briefings will be in each respective county commissioner's office will be kind of a performance evaluation. And here are the good things we're kind of doing throughout the state. And I'd just like to pay you a high, terrific compliment. Andy, Alexandra, and Sharon, they are exceeding expectations in all regards. They're in 100% compliance, and we're certainly some of the best CVSOs in the entire state of Indiana, and I'm blessed to be a part of it, and that's pretty much all I have. So thank you for all you do for our veterans.
So I got a question for you, Andy, because again, so Sharon is accredited, correct?
Correct.
So she is one of the biggest reasons why we have the means to be able to move these claims and things forward is because she went through that process, correct?
That's correct.
So, I mean, I'm always shocked at the actual numbers that Andy generates with regards to claims that have been generated. He says he's on his strategic target for the year, which is a hefty sum as far as dollars going into the pockets of veterans in the community.
That's correct. There are millions of dollars of VA benefits that are coming into the community directly because of the efforts of their office and them personally. So very, very great work.
Ron, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
I'm just curious. I'm assuming when on some of these changes that were made, does that ramp up the requirements on VSO offices pretty significantly?
It sets clear standards across the board. Professionalism that's really never been seen before completely. But our county is before this bill was even written, Andy and Sharon were in full compliance. And I'm not sure if that answers your question, but yes, it does. It sets a level of excellence that is just.
So you're just standardizing that throughout the state? Is that what is new?
Yes, this bill comes through the Indiana State Legislature, through the Indiana Veterans Affairs Commission, passed into law.
Okay.
And it professionalizes the whole, service offices across the board, really.
Okay.
And so the other thing that I caught in that conversation was, you said that the VSO officer is now a hired position, not an appointed position. So is there anything that the commissioners are on our side need to do in order to change that status in our system? I don't think it is. I think we basically treat the appointed people as official employees. It's just, we just need to now just take the appointment requirement off.
There might be some definitions that we need to clarify in our system.
And the job description, I don't know if that makes any reference to that. And then I think the one thing that concerned him when I had conversations about this particular bill passing, which I don't know if it was removed or if it was addressed, is designated VSO officers before, I think, passed this, and correct me if I'm wrong, were dedicated to the county. Now, is there, I can't recall, was there some language in here that said there may be assistance sought from other areas, from other regions or surrounding areas? Not that I'm concerned about it. I mean, he mentioned that.
So
Yeah, his office serving more than just Brown County as a requirement.
correct, and that's normal everywhere you go.
Okay.
Depending on where somebody lives, it's more convenient to them to go to one county or another. And they should be able to get the very same services and resources in each county.
Okay.
And, I don't know if that's
Not that he's
a question, but-
complained.
Yeah,
He's got a lot of work on his table.
in the south of Indiana, I have the southeast district, so I have Brown County straight south to Louisville and straight east to Cincinnati and 19 counties. And I have Cincinnati, Louisville, and Indianapolis VA medical centers in my area. And they come across the bridge from Kentucky,
Okay.
in busloads sometimes. It's an exaggeration, but, lots and lots of people. So it's very normal. And maybe one community has a struggle. There might be somebody out for medical reasons or whatever, and a CVSO family will come along beside them and help. Send your caseload to my county, send your caseload to this county, vice versa, sort of thing. So we're all a family and we're all in this together. It's kind of a mission ministry sort of thing. I'm very blessed to be part of it.
And then I know as part of the new legislation here is briefings are quarterly, semi-annual?
Semi-annual briefings. So the
Semi-annual.
next briefing will be, here's a sort of a list of all the productivity and performance and all the great things they're doing. Andy will be here. There's some unfortunate circumstances today. They were unable to be here. I gave them permission to not be here. Hopefully that's okay.
I'm fine with that. Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir. Andy's a bit of an overachiever.
He really is.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ron.
Truly appreciate you.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the take-home car ordinance. We introduced that last meeting. There's been no changes. The ordinance number 2026-02-18-0001. It's an ordinance establishing usage of county-owned vehicles. Got a motion. Want to discuss any questions?
I don't know, the only thing I said is it's not changed since the last time.
No, hasn't been touched.
I was fine with it last time.
So I'll make the motion that we adopt the ordinance
I'll second.
26-02-18-0001.
Okay. Second,
I second.
roll.
Tim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Next item, GSC, the software for the highway department. Kevin?
So this particular contract is for a piece of software that's going to actually allow us to change the way that we actually do some collections. One of the things that we've not been able to parse or do is actually gain access to paying labor and things of that nature out of the restricted funds that we have at the highway department, because there's a degree of granularity that has to be tracked and recorded. The system that is provided by GFC is a software system that's going to allow us to actually track that, along with some other information related to the equipment utilization and repairs and things of that nature. It's going to be a system that is specifically used at the highway department, and it's going to give them better access to information related to their expenditures, their actual and spend and repairs and things on equipment. So that contract's a 3-year contract. The first year is a setup fee with a 1-year service of $8,000, and the subsequent years through 2029 is going to be I believe $2,100. You confirm that.
And there's coming out of the county highway budget, and
It is coming out of the county highway budget. That is correct.
they're all good on their.
Yes, this was planned with that. So yes, it is $2,100 for the subsequent year. So this contract would end, if it's passed today, end in 2029 on the 4th of March.
Just to clarify something, did this contract already get signed and we're redoing it?
No, so the original contract that was provided by Ruben and Eric had signatures on it with a follow-on sheet that had to be approved by the commissioners.
Okay.
So we reworked this particular contract to fit into our template and our setup and structure. So that's been signed by Ruben Cunningham, who's the partner there at GFC. So I will make a motion that we approve this contract for the Highway Department as presented.
That's fine, I'll second.
Roll.
Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes. All right, next item, memorandum of understanding for the shelter house, the Overlook. Mark.
Good afternoon. So as we've discussed in the past, Parks and Rec were involved with building a new shelter house there in Blossom Overlook. We've we're in the process of working with the Brown County Woodworkers Club that's agreed to build the structure voluntarily. So what we are trying to do is basically develop an MOU that Stephanie's been working with us on. Essentially, that's just kind of outlining roles and responsibilities for that. So with this group, it's been wonderful that they've just stepped up and provided a lot of most of the materials, logs. They've milled them, shaped them, and so ready to start putting it together. So they've set a couple of the posts already, but we're looking hopefully this weekend if we can get everything squared away. We also have the beamery that's agreed to come in to help with bringing in a crane and providing an operator free of charge to set the trusses for the structure. So
Okay, great.
we want to kind of ideally get everything outlined just to make sure that everyone's covered as far as liability. And again, just go over any other roles, responsibility, make sure that everyone's aware of the project and what it entails.
So I know this was kind of a last minute thing with getting this all put in. Stephanie, who's our attorney, is present today, which normally she's on the phone. That the agreement is something that she put together. We went through it. I didn't see it. So is the Woodworking Club going to, do we have sign off on that, or is that something you're trying to accomplish before the end of the week?
Ideally before the end of the week.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking to do at this point.
And so you actually added the condition of the beamery. So are they being presented with exactly the same thing? And would that be relevant, Stephanie, what he's got there?
Yeah, what we drafted was specific for the woodworking club.
Okay.
We could look into adding the beamery because you do want to make sure that they're under their own insurance and that they're not, going to file any kind of claims if anything happens. So we can put something together for that. But this was specifically for the woodworking club. And it was a little different than some of the ones that you've done in the past with like the pump track and because the woodworking club itself is not an entity, it's a group of people. So the way we have it set up is so that each individual would sign who wants to volunteer on the project.
Okay. All right, so you've got to do, so it sounds like you still got to do some outreach to Jeff and them to get that signed, or have their signatures already?
You can just put it on contingent.
The Woodworkers Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically I've talked to them about this. And so essentially they haven't seen a copy of it yet because I wanted to make sure everything was ironclad before I sent it to them. But yes, they would need to review it, sign it prior. And unfortunately, the beamery, I did not express that to Stephanie. That's something that just kind of came about in the last few days, it seems like. So yeah, I guess that would have to be something added additional as well.
So today's Wednesday, want to get that done. So when are they doing their set?
Sunday is what they're hoping to try to do. We had talked about looking at Saturday. Again, it seems like that's going to be a washout based on the current forecast. So if at all possible, that's what I'm hoping to get all the loose ends tied up before that time.
So I do agree with Mr. Sanders on this particular agreement. We can approve it contingent upon their signatures. I'm fine with making that motion for the
Hang on.
working.
There's a couple things I want to say.
Sure.
Couple minor things.
Okay.
This project's already been started, okay? And we had a conversation yesterday about whether our insurance covered the woodworking club. And I think that it was determined that our insurance would cover it.
Yes.
Is that what you guys got out of that yesterday? Okay, so I think we're good there. Just as long as nobody's gotten hurt previous.
No.
No, okay, that you know of. And then if we can add the Beamery for setting them, just do it contingent. I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm fine with doing both of those. We want to make them contingent upon her completing it and getting our signatures on it,
Yeah, that
and
way,
presenting it.
I'll second the motion, if they're making the motion.
So let me repeat that motion. The motion I am saying is we will approve the in-hand memorandum of agreement contingent upon the signatures from the members of the woodworking club. And we will approve contingent upon Stephanie preparing a memorandum of agreement for the Beamery access to the site in order to utilize the cranes for setting. And that is with that. So if there aren't any disagreements there and they sign that, we should be good to go. Am I
Okay.
correct?
Works for me. I'll second
Okay, Ron, how do you vote?
it. Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes. So Stephanie, that's before Friday. Sorry. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Just, if we can, get a little ahead of time, because I know that there are a lot of projects at the park that come up where we've had donated labor, donated materials and those kinds of things. We just want to turn this into a habit.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I want to send a big thank you out to the woodworking club.
Absolutely.
I think it's gonna be so cool.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. All right. Next agenda item, appointments, applications, boards, commissions. Start with the CVC. We've had 3 applicants, Jimmy Tilton, Brian Tadlock, and Amos Bauer. I pronounced that right? Auger, okay. We've heard previously from Jimmy and Brian Tadlock. Amos, you want to explain your interest in the position?
Yeah, well, to be honest, so I'm Amos Bogger. I just purchased Hills of Brown, my wife, so we have a big investment.
Is that mic on?
Oh.
Yeah, if you
Get
get a little closer to
Can I
it.
get a little closer?
Yeah, sorry. Oh,
There you go.
and yeah, this is just, I just kind of want to dip my toe into the foray of, Brown County. We have a lot invested in this town and succeeding. So we just, and I guess to be honest, I'm just trying to get involved with the county a little more than I have been, so.
Okay. And the business background, manage rentals, tourist rentals, or?
Yeah, so, we manage vacation rentals.
You bought the Hills of Brown.
Yeah, you're the new owner, Hills of
Yes,
Brown?
correct.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking through, you gave us a pretty extensive
Yeah.
list. Okay, so you have facility property management for 100 short-term rental properties in Brown County and surrounding areas. Significant annual lodging revenue, contributing to local tourism occupancy for tax collection. He meets the requirement for the lodging. Really being owner of the vacation rentals. You guys have any questions?
What were you doing before you bought Hills of Brown? Has it always been in real estate as well, or rental?
So we owned a couple, or we owned one and then got another one recently. Before that, I was at Cummins. I did that for 10 years and then I quit Cummins to run the business full time.
Okay. And what were you doing at Cummins, if you don't mind my asking?
It was documentation technician work, so it was, I was the kind of the product management over literature work. Kind of behind the scenes stuff, but stuff that I get done, so.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Any
Any more
questions?
questions?
Good.
Okay.
Ready for a motion?
Yeah, thanks, Amos.
I'll make a motion to appoint Jimmy Tilton back to the CVC. I think he's got some time in the seat.
Is there a second?
Yeah, not for me.
Okay, no second. Another nomination?
So I was actually looking and considering Brian Tadlock as making a motion to appoint him in the seat himself.
There's a second.
So there's a no and a no there.
Okay,
So that leaves us with appointing Mr. Bauer.
I nominate Amos Bauer.
So again, not getting the Tadlock and not going that, I would move that, see if we can get consensus majority on the board of appointing Amos to the board of the CBC.
Is that a motion?
That is a motion.
Okay, I'll second. Roll.
Okay, Ron, how do you vote?
No.
Tim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Congratulations. All right, next one, Area Plan Commission. Really, we had two seats. We had two applicants, Andy Boyles and Kyle Deckard. Andy was here earlier, a few weeks
Yeah,
ago.
basically spoke on both BZA and APC if I recall.
So, two seats, two folks that want to be reappointed. So,
There's 2 seats available,
Correct.
still on there, planning?
correct.
Okay. That's pretty simple, isn't it?
I would think.
It is. There's 3 people, 2 slots. That's,
No,
No.
Mitchell withdrew.
Yeah, Mitchell approved.
Yeah, Sherry withdrew
did she? Okay.
her. That's.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to postpone this. I know we've tried countless times and that's what we have, so.
We re-advertised, it wasn't,
Right.
we missed it in the paper, we re-advertised and, you know.
Yeah, and we're in March, so I don't want to prolong this. So if that is true, if it's a withdrawal, I would make the motion and we'll do this individually. I will make the motion to appoint Andy Boyles to the Area Planning Commission.
It's fine, I'll second.
Okay, roll.
Tim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
And since we have that, Kyle Deckard served there, I'll make a motion that we reappoint or appoint Kyle Deckard to the Area Planning Commission.
I'll second.
Let's see, Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Tim?
Yes. All right. The next section is just in process, just a heads up. We're working on the contract ordinance, parcel transfer. I think, Kevin, you mentioned the town's got that one, and then the capital asset policy, we're trying to finish that one up. So, and Stephanie took your suggestion. We'll reach out to others, but I think we got a pretty good handle on this one. So I'm thinking with the next week or so, we'll probably be ready to send it your way.
And then, Mark, you're still there. Okay, Mark, I need help. So can you come back to the microphone real quick? Because I know that right now, the original agreement that we had in place was the town was providing access to power. They decommissioned the substation that was supplying the sewer system. So they did agree, and again, that was sent, I think, the end of last week to the town to have them review the agreement, Stephanie. So I haven't gotten anything back from them yet, or if I have, I haven't seen it. So when this gets handled, can you please take the spearhead on getting the proper installation done for having a power setting state, whether it be a meter or whatever, so that you can back to operating the systems that are out there that need that?
Yes. So I'm sorry, you said you haven't heard back then?
No, what I expect is it will likely end up, there's no approval. They've already approved it. It's simply just a matter of the commissioner signing and the town signing. There's no public meeting, so really, if they make no changes or anything of that nature, this could be within the next week or so. I will do some follow-up with Sandy Jones to see if she's got an idea of when. Normally she's here. But on that, so, because I know it really, it's the one that's, it's impacting you.
Sure.
For the trail, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you leave it in my hands, I'm not gonna be able to get you what you need.
Sure.
So I'm asking for your help.
Yes, yep, absolutely. Yeah, if you can, I guess, kind of keep me in the loop.
As soon as I have it, I'll let you know, and then I will forward to you along the contact information that I did get from the town in regards to Duke Energy, because that's the one They are the company that provided that substation and the power in that area. Okay,
All right.
thank you, sir. Sorry to catch you off guard here. You were here.
All right, moves us down to department reports. Teresa?
Okay, right now, the OOR grant, they picked 20 applicants to start with.
Okay.
They reached out to each applicant and had a request of income verification and things like that. That, for responding to those emails, the citizens have until the 27th of March. At that time, they will start looking into home inspections to verify even further.
Okay.
The other is, we got a notice for the Forest Service payments. We're looking into that process and whether or not we've gotten that payment yet. I didn't notice it in the system when we came to the meeting, so I'm gonna check with Andy, the treasurer. And the opioid settlement, I haven't heard back yet on our 26 money for that. So I'm working on that. I can give you a little bit of update on the highway, just so that you know, Trent and Sandra both passed their PASER rating certificates. So
Great.
that's done. And I did post the job for the superintendent on the LTAC website, so
Okay.
we've done that.
And I think the last count we had like 11.
11 so far.
All right.
Any questions for me?
No, in addition, Pacer, Sandra passed that ERC certification.
She did pass
That's a
the
critical
ERC.
one for our grants.
Yes,
Grants and project work.
grants and
Oh,
projects
yeah.
with NDOT.
Miss a date on that, it's significant. Okay, other, Ron, you wanted to mention, you had an issue on the NDOT agreement?
Well, I don't know that it's a big one, but I think I've discussed before with you about these signature pages could be a problem, the loose ones. In the contract that you gave me, Mr. Clark, the day before the vote, it states in there, the signature page, it's got me still listed as vice president. I don't believe I could have signed that contract legally. That's the one I thought because we're voting on, and here it states, it's got me no vice president, and you guys have went ahead and signed this. Have you sent it electronically yet?
It's been sent to the Department of Transportation.
Well, I keep harping on these signature pages. These signature pages need to be identified better, what they exactly are they are. This one does have the LPA of Brown County, and it says county council, blah, blah, blah. But the contract I was looking at was totally worded wrong. The other thing that I just talk about a little bit, I mean, this has been done, for the future. I kept reading in the contract that we were the ones responsible, LPA, we were responsible. You know, workman's comp, we had to manage the program and everything. But then when NDOT stood up there, they said, no, they're handling all the contractors. They're doing it, and it was like, to me, the contract didn't match to what we were talking about. And then basically they said it was a boilerplate contract. This is 2026. And I don't know, I understand the boilerplate terms to make sure that it's in there, the cancellation clauses and, most of them. But I would have thought this would have been a little bit cleaner contract. So just my point of view.
And again, so when we went through those discussions with them, we made the same point, and unfortunately, they weren't willing to change that.
Clarify?
They weren't willing to go back to that, so they can confirm those conversations with their attorneys. So,
And one more thing was, we're liable for the lawyers if we'll have to pay that cost up front. I don't know. There's too much in there that I could not agree with that should have been more clearly defined, in my opinion. So, enough about that.
All right. For ongoing business, I just listed, we're having a busy agenda for the 18th, so a lot of different things on the list. Let's jump down. I think we had the Taggarts want to present. Had a request.
Lauren and Janet?
Yeah.
Ryan and Janet?
Orrin Taggart. Now, let me see if I can get this right. You guys have been married for how long?
72 years.
72 years. Okay, they won the prize down at the Antique Machinery Club for being married the longest. There were some people up there going, we've been married 55 years. We've been married 55 years. There's 3 or 4 of them. And we thought it was all done, and then 72 years, they were the winners.
That's quite an achievement.
Yeah, good. Thanks.
What we're wanting to talk about is paving. You've already identified this. We live at 7416 Old State Road 46. Our family has lived at this address for 65 years. We were living at this address when new 46 was constructed. Our road has not been paved for this period. We were told by Brown County Commissioner Jerry Pittman that plans were to pave our road in 2024. For some reason, this did not occur. We would appreciate consideration for this to happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Taggart, can I share some information with you? Because I did ask our assistant superintendent to look at the actual road themselves. And actually, so the road is in poor shape. So we heard Teresa mention earlier on that we had 2 people PISA ratings. So that's what the state uses in order to identify the quality or the level of grade of the road. So yours is at a 3, and Trent Shutters, which I don't know if you know, Mr. Shutters, look at that. So I know right now, last year's paving, we identified paving Grandview Road, 400 Sawmill, and part of Grandma Barnes. Part of the things that was considered this year for paving and being identified was Upper Salt Creek, part of Petro, part of Gold Point Road. So we're getting into the routine of where we're trying to get further ahead to identify paving projects. He does know about it, and I basically will have to see where we can fit it in, if at all possible, right? So just want you to know between us, that's what we communicated with them, and it's been communicated with them.
Was there any other highway funds that we could possibly reach into? I've actually been on the road, and yeah, it's pretty much cobblestone. And that's something else that when the highway garage is out plowing, I had to call in to get him to even come and plow his road.
Yeah, that was missing from the snow route, which I think has
Right,
been.
which they filled in, I believe. You've had your road plowed this year, haven't you? It's snow?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the snow plows are tearing it up even worse.
Yeah.
Because it's cobblestone. So is there any, of any money in the highway for?
Until we get our new superintendent on board, the dollars that we have allocated for this year's paving, so that what I identified is what we were targeting, and we don't even have dollars set for that yet. That's what we're trying to do.
Okay.
So
There's a possibility then.
It's not looking.
There is 4 houses in this little loop, and
Yeah.
then later on, there's gonna be a 5th, so we're about.
I get that. I do get that. And I understand the challenges of it. So without having a final on that, I know the target when before Eric left, was targeting our CCMG money, which is our grant matching money for the community crossings. That was being targeted for bridges being under repair. That's the project that is. So the question then becomes is if we don't get approved for the repair of Mount Liberty Bridge, then we were sitting there saying, well, next step, again, it depends on how that crossing and how they shuffle things. NDOT's telling us CCMG, they wanted to look at infrastructure for bridges. So that's why that was done. So if it doesn't come to fruition, we can look at changing it or a submission, but I don't know that we can include the road in that.
Greg, you might know this. How long do you think that road is? Is it a quarter of a mile?
Maybe a half mile.
You think it's
What do
that
you
long?
think, Dad? You rock it.
Probably a quarter mile.
Is it?
That wouldn't have been my guess, quarter of a mile. What's it take to blacktop a quarter of a mile, okay? No?
The challenge is getting them to look at the base, if there's a base repair. That's the question. And I'm not trying to put the question, just giving the reality. So that's what it takes to be considered and going through that. So hopefully we'll have a better answer. I can't tell you when. Because right now we've got a budget.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And then, Kevin, that begs the question. The new system for the Pacer rating, when you go through all the roads, we've got, how many miles of road did we get a Pacer rating on? Is it just the paved roads?
It's just the paved roads.
And that's how many?
I think the actual official count in that report that Eric gave me was around 238 miles.
Okay, so we got 238 miles, and I'll have the Pacer rating from high to low.
Right.
Okay, and then I'd like to see, I think that'd be a nice thing for a presentation by the highway department to introduce what that is, how that Pacer rating was done, technology they used, how they track it, and how they prioritize improvements.
So I think, in not the last meeting, it wasn't the last meeting, did we get or put a copy of Eric's document in there for the bridges and roads?
I think so.
Okay, so in our meeting minutes, that actual document that calls out what the costs are for the actual asset management plan on the roads itself, it actually does have the Pacer rating if anyone is interested in looking at that.
And while we're looking at his road, there's a couple other little roads that come off of there on the other side of the road. I don't know if they're as bad as his, but I don't think they've been maintained.
So when Trent did look at it, he didn't just stop at that, he went and actually looked at the other offshoots of 46, and his verdict was they're in similar shape.
Okay. Because when those, see, the highway don't like for the county to be up on the highway doing much, so basically the county has to come off of there. And on the other side of the road, it's a big time drop off. I would not want to drive a four-wheel drive snowplow off that hill. So you got people coming off that hill and it needs some help.
Yeah, I know.
Alrighty, that'd be, again, something we can introduce to people and understand how this system works and how we prioritize improvements.
And we're still working on planning further ahead than 1 year-to-year paving.
Yes, and that's a plus. Okay.
Quick question.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Sherry Mitchell. When was the last time we got community crossings money? I'm sorry, I haven't been here for eons. I mean,
We've
obviously,
we've only ever missed 1 year.
So did you get it last year then?
We did.
Was it $1 million?
No. It was only 400,000. Basically, it was the money that was used to replace the Country Club Bridge road,
Okay.
or bridge.
And am I clear that you said that those community crossing monies now can be used for bridge work?
No. So in essence, what NDOT typically tries to communicate when we have our superintendents is they have, because again, they're the decision maker on who that gets done. They gave them criteria saying they would really try and focus on bridges being the priority if there were projects in the counties that they had, and if they did, and then you could submit it for paving, but they weren't necessarily giving it equal consideration.
Thank you much.
As far as paving, didn't we, was it cured or what technology word am I using where we made them funds where they'd still be available this year because it got too late? Encumbered?
Those funds were encumbered for the paving that we had last year. So again, like I said, we didn't identify what those dollars were going to be. Because Eric was looking at, if we get the CCMG, which is, and again, I think my misstatement of what that is, it's not $400,000. It was roughly $900,000 from NDOT for the CCMG on Country Club. Hard to pull numbers off the top of my head. But the one at the Hoover Road and Upper Sweetwater Trail Bridge, that was the next priority because of the understructure. So that one is coming in at, I think, targeted at like $400,000.
So you're saying the encumbered funds could be used for that bridge?
No, the encumbered funds are going to be used to pave.
Okay. Now, is there any room there?
No.
All that money's not used?
No, that was every penny that we were able to pull over that was available at that time. So what I did have when I did go through the exercise and having that conversation, Trent says we haven't in the past. One of the methodologies that we may consider, and again, it's a cheaper alternative, but they want to evaluate it and consider it, is chip and seal. So, because there have been other counties in Indiana that have actually chip and sealed dirt roads to bring them towards blacktop, but that's not something that we've ever done in the past.
We've chip and sealed.
I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah,
So,
depends on who does it. There is quality chip and seal.
right.
The ones that they did on just like 45 here recently, that road is in a little better shape. I've seen chip and seal or some of the work they've done where it just peel right up, nasty oil.
Yeah.
That's kind of the roads we had when I was a kid around here.
Right. So,
We don't want to make them a bigger mess than what they already got.
well, again, I don't want to make a commitment like Mr. Pittman did and come back and say it didn't get done. So I prefer to make sure that we do our research and come after it. Okay?
That finishes the agenda. We always ask comments from the public. Anything that anybody wants to bring up, ask.
Hi, Sherry Mitchell. Let's talk about the prosecutor's office. Where we at? You used to have that cool little thing on the back of the agenda. What happened to that thing? Your ongoing business stuff.
That's still there. I keep it offline. It got to be 3 pages. Seems like I was the only one reading.
Honey do.
Well, more than that. Yeah.
Anyways, where we at with that cotton picking thing?
So the official thing is about a week ago, the commissioners sent a letter to the town council saying we are no longer pursuing an interest in purchasing the police department because we couldn't come up and resolve any of their special requests that they had.
I'm happy.
So
Okay.
that point of it is, so then we actually had our owner's technical representative, myself, have a meeting with the sheriff, the actual prosecutor, his administrative assistant, and Mary Wertz, the judge, and having a proposal that was put together for 2 of them, 2 solutions. One was actually build the prosecutor's office proposal on the end of the courthouse. And the second one was to actually build a prosecutor's office new in the law enforcement center area. So that was discussed,
What about the third option?
which is
Don't do nothing.
if we don't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm not a proponent of that.
I
I'm a proponent of that building is aged and does not have the space necessary for them. So,
Anyway, I am a huge proponent of not doing anything, especially since how we were looking at this just strictly on the asbestos and the mold and all that stuff that went on. And let me make sure I understand this. From what I've read in about bonds, is that yes, you write an ordinance to say you're gonna spend the money on blah, blah, blah. But if you choose to change your mind about spending that money specifically on a prosecutor's office, you could go back to the council and ask them to rewrite your little thing, so that it's still equal, I guess, because you had bridge work in there anyway, didn't you?
No.
What was it?
so the only thing that was in there was the law enforcement center HVAC systems,
Okay,
the heating and the basically heating and air conditioning, the prosecutor's office, and then there were funds that were specifically allocated by projects for the council through IT, meaning firewall and then computer systems. Those were the 3. And then there's an option.
Go ahead.
And then there was an option with regards to additional projects if we chose to bring them forward, as long as those funds did not interfere or negatively impact the money needed to do the prosecutor's office. So per my conversation with our attorneys, is those funds have to be used for those specifically identified projects and any projects that we add that are not going to impact that. So we added the water heater for the jail because that was a small amount moving forward. The corrections office, oh, that was the 4th project, was the upgrade of the, or update of the courthouse to move corrections into the 1st level for office space. That was that. And then the other thing that was added to that was the sheriff's new hardware and software related to body cameras.
So you do have an out then on your bond? It
As
says
long as
any
we-
other capital improvements or whatever.
As long as we don't exceed the dollars needed for the prosecutor's office.
But you don't have to do it.
If we have to go, it has to be used for that first. That's my understanding.
Unless you choose not to do it. Right?
Can't choose not to do it because it's by ordinance and it's ordained that way. And it takes 2 changes in ordinance.
You worked that out with your lawyer, but I think I'm right. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
The other thing is there's a possibility there might be some money left over from the bond to do some paving. Is there not?
Bridges.
Could,
Bridges.
It's a
Bridges?
possibility.
Money left over to pay.
We'd have to be careful because again,
We have quite the list of capital improvements.
correct.
Windows for the courthouse being one, that's what, $250,000?
The windows for the courthouse is another $220,000 to $225,000.
I believe Pam Gould wants to speak.
Pam Gould, just to pivot off of Sherry's comment about all that, I think there might be a fourth option to consider, and that would be renting property that is already zoned properly for office space use. That way that property would continue to be on the tax rolls. Seems like I calculated it out when you were talking about this bond to begin with, that a 3,000 square foot prosecutor's office extension onto the courthouse was gonna be $3 million.
No.
We borrowed 2 million,
2.4.
thinking we'd be covered with 2.1,
2.4.
2.4 million. on the
Well,
process.
it would just be really good to entertain that other possibility. It seemed like I figured out when you're talking about being $3 million, which is what you were talking about at that point in time, that's $1,000 per square foot. You could rent space off of some private enterprise here for 68 years at the going rate of rental space. So
60
just
years?
68 years.
Wow.
So it's just something that should enter into your calculations as possibilities to take a look at. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Stephanie, legal, anything for us? Hey, thanks for being here. Good to see you. Good to meet you for the first time in person versus virtual, so thank you. Appreciate all your help. Okay,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
okay. Meeting is adjourned.